Today we have a session on concrete, past, present and future by engineer Shaiju Nair, who is the CEO of DH Academy, Kochi, and he was the former regional head of Ambuja Private Cements Limited. I welcome you, sir, to this session. Now I would like to welcome engineer Sajid Bhaskar, Secretary, ICI Calicut Center, to speak a few words. Sir, please.
Good morning, Shaiju.
Yeah, good morning.
I hope you are doing well. Good morning, Divya Madam. Good morning, all of you. Today is our third day of this workshop. I will just take 1 or 2 minutes to talk about ICI. ICI, Indian Concrete Institute, is one of the leading professional bodies in India, catering to the professional needs of individuals and organizations involved in concrete. ICI was born in 1982 and now it has become a strong professional body, having more than 13,000 enrolled members from 42 regional centers. And we are having around 350 organizational members spread across the entire length and breadth of the country. The main aim is to bridge the gap between the theory and practice. And in Kerala, we have 3 centers, one in Cochin, one in Calicut, and another one in Trivandrum. Calicut ICI Center was inaugurated 5 years ago, and now we are having around 150 members from Malappuram to Kasaragod. To meet the objective of ICI, regional centers conduct various varieties of programs like seminar, workshop, conferences, exhibition, etc., both in national and international level. Now, student chapters are also doing a lot of workshops. This is one among them. And over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now I introduce Sriya, S6 Civil Engineering student, Vedavyasa Institute of Technology, to speak a few words of the speaker. Sriya, moving on to you. Sriya.
Okay, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. Department of Civil Engineering ICI VVIT chapter welcomes each and everyone to the third day of online workshop on concrete past, present and future by engineer Shaiju Nair, sir. He is presently the CEO of DH Academy, aiming for molding civil engineers. His areas of expertise includes concrete mix design, special concretes, durability of concrete, etc. He has 22 years of experience in cement and concrete industry. He also served as Head of Technical Service Department South, Ambuja Cements Limited. He has conducted more than 100 technical lectures on various aspects of concrete. He also associated with LNG projects in India and abroad. He is also working as a consultant to various public and private organizations. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Sriya. Now we'll move to this session. I request Shaiju sir to take over this session.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for the nice introduction. Thank you, Divya madam, and thank you, engineer Sajid Bhaskar and ICI Calicut chapter. As rightly mentioned by engineer Sajid Bhaskar, now ICI is organizing so many programs. Now this Cochin chapter, we have a series of programs happening now. And please, my request will be please enroll into that. And now this is the COVID-19 panic situation across the world. So it is time for us to give some due importance for our knowledge sharing and acquiring knowledge, disseminating knowledge, etc. So I am very thankful to ICI Cochin chapter and Vedavyasa Institute of Technology Calicut to invite me for a brief session. So today I'll be discussing something about concrete, that past, present and future. Actually, it is a very lengthy topic. So my
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the sound is not so audible, sir.
So now it's okay?
Yes, sir, it's okay.
So my request will be, please be patient, and since this is a vast subject, I'll be covering in a little pace. Okay, so please be with me, and I'll try to complete this session by around 11 o'clock. Divya madam, I think it's okay. Then if required, we can have a some questions are there, we can address, or if any further questions are there, we will try to clarify it. Engineer Sajid Bhaskar is also there. ICI, the prime objective of ICI, as is discussed, is to bridge that gap. So we are here, and we together we can discuss, and we can get an answer for our questions, right? So let me start. First of all, on behalf of our new initiative, DH Academy, also we welcome all of you to this session. And basically, DH Academy's main idea is also transforming knowledge to wisdom. That means, as mentioned by engineer Sajid Bhaskar, some theory we have, some science we have, some engineering we have, or what we are trying to do is transforming that to wisdom. That is application part of engineering. We all know, while studying, if somebody is asking which course you are doing, you'll be saying, I'm studying civil engineering. But immediately after the completion of your course, you'll be getting a certificate that is shows BTech, but that means Bachelor of Technology. So there is a difference between that science or engineering and technology. Application of that engineering is technology. So I'm really happy that ICI chapter and Veda Vyasa Institute of Technology, they are taking initiative to get some inputs from this practical experience and sharing knowledge, etc. Now, there are so many questions. If it was a one-on-one interaction, I prefer to have some answers from the viewers. But now, since it is not possible, it's a first one a webinar, right? So I am just giving that answer itself. Concrete was made how many years before? It's a very interesting question. So generally, I used to get so many answers, but the more appropriate answer is it's more than 9,000 years before. That is the more appropriate answer we can say. And it is many places in Israel, Rome, etc. Concrete was there. What I am trying to do, I am trying to give some. This is just like ice breaking. For 5 minutes, we will be discussing about some past structures. You can see some samples of concrete floors which are constructed in 7,000 BC. Now, history of concrete, as we all know, this concrete that time was made with locally available material. In India also, there are so many examples with old. And in fact, honestly saying, those structures, they are having a durability wise also, they are still surviving, and the durability is better. So concrete was made around 9,000 years before. Okay. Now coming to some interesting structures. See, this is an example. This is a building of Pantheon, Rome, Italy. It is constructed in 27 BC. You can see here a cross section of a sphere. It is of 43.3 meter diameter. Just imagine when they have constructed that 120 AD, means years back. And in the top photograph, you can see the inside portion of the dome, and still it is there. So these are some of the examples of concrete. And again from Italy, Colosseum. Colosseum means it's a type of stadium, and that was used to host gladiatorial shows as well as variety of other programs. And the capacity was around 50,000 to 80,000. Now it is actually they are planning to repair it, but at present it is not working. And again, it is a tunnel, the Thames tunnel. It is supposed to be it was the first tunnel built. And that time the technology, the new technology they have applied, and it is called tunneling shield technology. You can see a picture, 2010 picture, still it is there. So, and the year constructed, that's supposed to be 1883, right? And from Rome, you can see forts constructed earlier. So I'm very quickly, I'm passing through this. And this is one of an interesting building. The building is called Englass building, that is in USA. The speciality of this building was, this was the first ever RCC high-rise building, and 16 floors. Nowadays, it is not at all a big deal because we have so many high-rise building coming in India and across. So, but the important thing was that this was the first high-rise building. And, after the inauguration of this building, media people, they were waiting outside. And the reason, right? They thought that this was the first high-rise building and this will collapse immediately. So who will report first? That was their agenda behind camping over there. And this is completed in 8 months. And again, from here we all know that they are doing some load test, right? So they are applying a load test. And the interesting thing, somebody is sitting inside, is the owner of that, hume pipe he's the pipe manufacturer. He want to prove that his pipe can withstand a load of 21 metric ton. And nowadays, these Hume pipes are, very, very popular. And now Central PWD and all departments, they allow. Suppose we are now constructing a culvert. So we know it's a tedious process. We have to close one traffic, everything. Now, if you are using this type of Hume pipes, means within 2 or 3 days, you can construct that culvert. Now it is getting very, means getting slowly getting popularity. And this is also just for fun. I have introduced this slide. Hammurabi, he was a king of Mesopotamian civilization. And now we are supposed to follow certain rules, building codes, we said rules, building rules, everything is there. So he was the first person who introduced these laws. He used to inscript in stones. And the first law: if a building collapses and no one is killed, the builder shall rebuild without cost of the owner. Okay, that's not a big deal. Second one, little more dangerous: if a building collapses and the owner is killed, the builder shall lose his life. And the third one is very, very critical and dangerous: if building collapses and the wife of the owner is killed, the builder shall supply him with a wife of similar value. The builder shall supply him with a similar wife of similar value. So this was the first, and I have taken from a presentation of Dr. Ramakrishnan, and there are so many other laws also. Now coming to our situation, that is, as we all know, the most consumed item in the world is water. Next to water by weight, it is concrete. Concrete is a man-made material, and it is in the number 2 position. So there are so many advantages for concrete, and that is that we are not going into details of that. So if something has to reach its second position, means that has to have some very good properties or some very good advantages. So let us examine why concrete reaches. That means the advantages of concrete. Nowadays, so many presentations are going on, sustainability. In sustainability, there are mainly 3 pillars. One is economic aspects, environmental aspects, as well as social aspects. Economical, environmental, and social. If we are having a balance between these 3, then we can call it as a sustainable structure. And concrete, cost wise also, compared to all other construction materials, concrete is the cheapest. You can see price per metric ton here. This is just an approximate representation, but still, where concrete and where other construction materials are. So cost wise, compared to other construction materials, concrete is very cheap. So it's a now sustainable contribution is there. Then durability, if designed properly, concrete is durable. And the service life of concrete can be increased. But because of so many reasons, nowadays the average life of our structure, I am talking about individual houses and all, not major mega projects, right? So durability is decreased to maybe around 30 or 40 years maximum. And we have that too, we have to do regular repairs. So durability is also one of the key areas, one of the main advantages of concrete. Then the other one, aesthetics. Concrete can be molded to any shape, right? That we have to design the formwork, and over that formwork only we are placing concrete. So it can be molded to any shape without any additional wastage. Suppose you want to make an arch with a wood, very expensive. So if you want to have a teak wood without joints, so that means you have to cut that much wood, and you take out the arch portion, and the rest will be waste. But you just think, in case of concrete, we are designing that formwork, and over that we are placing. So there is no wastage for concrete at all. So the main advantages of concrete, we can say, that is the reason why concrete has reached to number 2 position. That means cost, durability, and aesthetics. And as you all know, concrete is very strong in compression. Nowadays, 152 megapascal concrete was also produced. But it is very weak in tension. Not very weak in the sense, these are actually questions I want to hear from you, but unfortunately we cannot see each other. That's why I'm just explaining and I'm leaving. The tensile value of concrete is roughly 10% of its compressive strength, right? Just for example, so if a concrete is having 50 megapascal strength, then roughly the tensile value of that is around 5 megapascal only. So since concrete weak in tension, that is the reason why we are adding reinforcement to concrete, because that reinforcement is taking care of this tensile part. That is the reason why we are calling it as RCC, reinforced cement concrete. Okay, right. Now, next, again, concrete will gain strength with time. Concrete will gain strength with time. And this is a very, very interesting slide, which I think most of the participants are students. You can, this is actually very useful for you people, because this is, I'm just comparing concrete. When the 20% strength, it's like a small baby having 1 or 2 years old. Then if concrete reach 70% growth, what is happening? Without any support, the baby can stand. That means the concrete can withstand itself with. So of course, somebody is asking you, when can I do my de-shuttering? When can I do my de-shuttering? So you can immediately answer that when your concrete reaches 70% of its strength, then you can remove that your shuttering, and it can withstand its self load. And on attaining 100% strength, what is happening? Concrete can take additional loads also. Now, just additional, again, one interesting question, mostly to students: why we are considering 28 day as the, we are saying compressive strength after 28 days? What is the specialty of the 28 day? Actually, 28 day concrete is supposed to reach around 95 to 99% of strength. That is the reason why it is taken as 28 day strength, right? Now, concrete can be a durable friendly material from the environmental point of view, and you can some interesting structures. Now, if somebody is asking you the tallest building, you can say Burj Dubai, it is plus 800 meter. You can see here, and Taipei, it is plus 509 meter. Petronas Tower, 400 meter, and even some offshore structures minus 350 meter. Can you imagine any other material to be constructed below the sea level? That means minus 350 meter. It is very difficult, and we can say practically not possible at all. But with concrete, we can achieve that. And one more interesting thing, the tallest residential building in the world, I'm underlining the word residential building in the world, is coming in India. And the name of that building is World One. It is around half kilometer, around 450 to 500 meter high, and it is purely for residential. And now I think around 60 to 70% work is over. Now, once after completing that World One, that building will be the tallest residential building in the world. Now, we discussed so many advantages of concrete. Concrete is not always performing well. See, nowadays it's very less, but if I am not wrong, maybe around 6 months or 8 months back, whenever you are reading newspaper, you get a building collapse. All of that are RCC buildings. So we are talking about the advantages, but it is the building is not lasting. So why? There are so many reasons to affect durability. Since we are talking about concrete, we will discuss something what concrete contributes to that part. Even being the most used universal construction material, concrete is still unknown, and its technology is not well mastered. Technology is not well mastered. Again, for the students, I will say we will discuss about concrete mix design. So if you ask me, concrete mix design, whether it is a science or art, so I will say it is more towards an art side. I'll give some examples. I will explain that, because there is a basic science behind that, and you do more and more trials, then only you more and more information and can make a good concrete. That is like you are practicing Bharatanatyam. It's an art. So the more you do Bharatanatyam means you will become an expert. So my request will be, theory is theory, but what we have to do is we have to do more and more trials. And nowadays there is a tendency that we are giving some materials to someone and do ask them to do mixed design. So they will just do one trial and give us a mixed design. That is actually wrong. We have to have a series of trials and take the average of that. That only will do, because one time maybe we will get, other time maybe some difference in atmospheric condition also will affect. So this is very important and key. And concrete, this is what I explained. Concrete technology is very simple. Many people abuse concrete often by ignorance. What they will say that this concrete is not working, this concrete is not good, the durability is not there, cracks are coming, so many problems. And according to me, the main villain is we are not able to control the water cement ratio in the concrete, and we are reluctant to use admixtures, chemical admixtures and mineral components. You see, basically chemical admixtures and mineral components, it is very, very key for making good quality concrete. I'll try to show a video. Can you see this video? Hello, can you see? You see water is coming here, you know. So what will be the water cement ratio of this concrete? Just imagine what will be the water cement ratio. In theory we are having certain water cement ratio and we are having more. So this should not happen at any cost. And generally there is a tendency, I hope there are some practicing engineers also attending this session. So for them, we are all good people. The people, those who are not attending this session, some people, what they are doing, they will not attend the two main stages of concrete, or two main important stages of concrete, that is placing and curing. Because while placing, if you are going near to concrete, then what will happen? See, our good shirt or pant, it will get some stains from concrete. And curing, generally there is a tendency that after finishing, mostly almost all engineers, they will say, sir, concrete finished. But for a civil engineer, if we have to say concrete finish, means we have to complete curing also. The importance of curing, that. So these are some of the reasons why concrete is not that much means sometimes concrete is deteriorating. These are the main reasons. And we have technical know-hows available. We have technical know-hows available, but the technical know-how used by us is very less. It is in books, it's in theory. We are not ready to apply. One example is the usage of chemical and mineral admixtures. One example is, now some of the government departments, I am saying most, some of the government departments, they are still specifying ordinary Portland cement. If you consider durability aspect of concrete, if you discuss with any, last time ICI Cochin chapter, I told you we are organizing a program, and Dr. Manu Santhanam, IIT Madras, he was also telling blended cement is good for durability point of view. So we are not applying that part. Now I will try to show you some videos. I don't know whether it is working, but in my screen I think it is okay. And now I told you, mixing, placing, everything is equally important. Now just see this video and just visualize how and of course I'll tell you one thing, this is not from Kerala, this is from other part of the country, how they are mixing. You just feel it, then tell me how our poor concrete will get enough strength. You just see how they are mixing. See, one man without any measurement, he is just taking sand and is filling into that. And very interestingly, after that, they are not properly mixing it also, and they are just passing that for placing. So how can we expect this concrete to be a durable one? Suppose this is house of somebody, then what is going to happen? It is actually a dream. A home is a dream. So we engineers, we are contributing to fulfill someone else's dream. So it is a very, very responsible thing which we are taking. But if you are producing concrete like this, then it won't happen. And now you see here the water is coming up, and you see the quality of concrete. I'm sure it is not up to the mark. Now latest, you can see the state of art mixing. We have batching plants, we have very good batching plants, very controlled concrete we will get. And in placing, now this is a concrete, this is a self compacting concrete happening. You see concrete is just pouring like flowing like water. It is not because of additional amount of water, it is because of the special design and presence of some special admixtures like PCE based admixtures. So we have state of the art, we have very low level of technology being applied now. So these are the gaps. This is the reason why our concrete is not always performing, though it has got enough, good qualities. Sometimes people are not making it in a proper way. So in the present concrete scenario, what I am trying to give you some information about the do's and don'ts and the wrong practice and the new practice. I told you it's a very lengthy topic. If we want to cover that, I require minimum 3 hours time. Minimum 3 hours I am trying. So I am trying to compress. Now the discussion of this main idea, if somebody can suggest something after this session, the question is, could we make a new generation of concrete structures which would be much stronger and much more durable? Can we make that concrete? That is the question in front of us. Now, concrete performance. Before talking about concrete performance, again one question from my side. uh, Generally, what do you mean by good health? We used to say in Malayalam, and it's actually Sanskrit made arogyam, right? What is the meaning of good health? If someone is saying most of the, if I ask this question to several engineers and students, so 99% they answered correctly, one partially correctly. They told without any diseases. Arogyam means no rogam, rogam illata avastha. But the thing is that if suppose if Shaiju Nair, if I am I don't have any diseases right now, but by birth I am not having my right hand, will you call me as a healthy man? No. So there are two parts to call a person as a healthy person. Number one, no diseases. Number two, all the organs should be there and it should be in correct position and in working condition. Otherwise we will not call him as a healthy person. Like that, if you want to call a concrete as a good performing concrete, there are two parts which is equally important. One is the concrete ingredients that we all know. If we want to make good concrete, we have to use good quality cement, good quality water, good quality aggregates, etc. Then if any of this ingredient is inferior in quality, that may directly affect the performance of concrete. And construction practices is equally important. I have shown some videos earlier. Suppose if we have everything with us, but if you are not making concrete in a correct way, then that will end up with some problems. Now, just for an example, if I am saying, suppose we want to make a good chicken biryani. So, there are two cases. One, you are giving me, I'm talking about myself, you are giving me good chicken, fresh chicken, good rice, everything. And I don't know how to cook. So you cannot expect me to give you a good chicken biryani. On the other hand, we are approaching, chef of Taj Hotel, Kozhikode Taj Hotel chef, we are approaching. Sir, we want to have a good biryani. Okay, he is ready to cook for us. We know he is an expert, but we are giving him a chicken. In Cochin, one word is very familiar, very famous. That is tsunami chicken. Tsunami chicken means chicken having around 6-month-old chicken. If we are giving tsunami chicken, bad quality rice, how he can produce a good quality biryani? It is same like that. So always ingredient and construction practices, it have its own importance, and I will say 50-50 importance, right? Now, concrete. Concrete is actually a family of material. It is not like our modern family. In modern family, what is happening? We are becoming like nuclear family. Me, my wife, and my child. That's only. Earlier, the concept was not like that. It was a bigger family, and that is the reason why nowadays, the divorce rate is also high. If there is any automata issues between husband and wife, directly they are going to court and they are filing, and court may or may not allow them to live together. It is up to them. But earlier, what is happening is that if there is chota mota issue, then they will go to this grandmother or somebody like that. So grandmother will say, "Arey, your husband did only this thing with you, right? Na, your grandfather na, oh, he says yada tha. So we are happy. Okay, she also suffered. I am suffering a little bit. I am happy now." It is just like concrete is also just like a family of materials, and the difference between human family and the concrete family is that concrete family is expanding day by day. Earlier concrete was cement, aggregates and water. Now basic three components. Now in that mineral admixtures came, chemical admixtures came, and there are combinations of chemical admixtures, combinations of mineral admixtures, combinations of aggregates, that all came. So this concrete family is expanding, and we used to call cement as the head of the family because he is holding the family. That means cement is binding everything. And chemical admixtures, it is just like daughter-in-law. We have to why I am saying daughter-in-law means we have to select very carefully because it may have compatibility issue with cement. So we have to do the compatibility check before finalizing a chemical admixture. Now mineral admixtures, mineral admixture, that means the mother-in-law, uh, she is giving the prosperity to that family, and she is also having good role in durability of the family. For running that family, it is very, very important and essential. Aggregates around 70 to 80 percentage, or so we can say 60 to 75 percentage of in concrete. 60 to 75 percentage is around aggregates, and that we used to call it as a prodigal child. The word prodigal means lavish, extravagant, because the quantity is very high and we don't have any direct, control. And water, we used to call it as a, uncontrolled child. If you are controlling properly water and water cement ratio, then only you will get a good quality concrete. If so, that is the role of water is very important and crucial. And as I told, you can see the family members. Earlier concept was earlier in 1848 and all. Some road work, substrata work, they used concrete. The combination was 70% lime and reverse and etc. etc. Now modern concrete, we have so many materials added, and that then only we are making our modern concrete. Now, as I told, cement, the head of the family. In world statistics, I am not going since we are little bit short of time. And cement, I'll just discuss the basic things. And our whenever we are discussing with students, we used to call no, who invented cement. So that was the question. But generally, they will tell us father of cement. So we can say the father of cement is Joseph Aspidin. He invented cement in 1824 and 1828. You can see his old cement plant, and now modern cement plants came. Very advanced cement plants came, and cement manufacturing process. It was wet process earlier, then semi-dry process, now dry process, and the quality of cement actually increased. Most of the people, they abuse cement that the quality deteriorated. Now actually speaking, cement quality is increased, and the basic cement raw materials are calcium oxide, aluminum oxide, silica oxide, iron oxide. So from lime, clay and sand, hematite, we are getting all these materials. Manufacturing process, time is not there, so we are not. And this is called box components, right? C3S, alite, belite, cellite and ferrite. This, we can say, this C3S actually C3S is more in concrete, and it is mainly responsible for early strength and strength at all stages, right? And but the problem is higher heat generation. C2S means belite. It is 15 to 30 percentage. Early stage only it will contribute. C3A, tricalcium aluminate. Okay, it is also very less in quantity, but the reaction is very fast. C3A will react very fast, and the heat generated is very, very high. We can say the most in concrete after hydration. And C4AF, tetracalcium aluminoferrite, it is moderate, heat generation is low. And because of this tetracalcium aluminoferrite, we are getting cement color as a gray color, right? Because of the presence of that. And ordinary Portland cement, now IS code IS 269 only for this 33, 43 and 53. Then PPC, then slag cement, rapid hardening cement, and there are so many other cements available in the market. Today, I'm not going into the details of cement. The reason is quality cements are available in the market, and construction practices mainly we are discussing. And for each property of cement, there is a significance also. Suppose, and for me, nowadays, I used to get so many calls, and in fact, 2-3 webinars also, a panel discussion also organized in this manner, because after lockdown, cement is old by 1.5 months and 2 months, maybe more than that. So what will happen to that cement? How immediately we can assess whether the stock cement is good or not? So there are some conventional physical methods. Other than that, what I proposed is this low zone ignition test. It indicates the freshness of cement. It is a very simple test. It will give you very fast results. It indicates that whether prehydration happened or not. Like that, see how to do this testing. That is not that much relevant. What is the significance of that? That is very, very important. If somebody is telling a value, then you have to understand. If the low zone ignition value is very high, maybe more than 5%, then there is indication that your cement already started prehydration. So that is not good for construction. We should not use that for construction. But if a cement properly stacked for even for 3 months also, no problem, because in the cement bag, as per Bureau of Indian Standard Instruction, now one more seal has come, that is called best before 3 months. It is saying best. We know good, better, best. If you are using before 3 months, they are saying it is best. They are not saying that after that cement will die. So you can have the options. This is the way. Suppose you are constructing your own project and you have 200, 500 bag stock, how you will assess? This is very, very important. And as you know, classification of PPC, OPC, 43 grade and 53 grade. So these are the physical requirement, 3rd day, 7th day and 20th day. Okay. And other, physical and chemical properties of cement. Then this is also very important. That means the consistency of cement, right? See, we have 3 cement samples, A, B, and C. Suppose all 3 are giving mean strength same. Mean strength means if you take an average of 1 month or 2 month, 1 month average, maybe it is giving around, average I am saying, it is giving around 63 same. But if you see the standard deviation, in case of A, the standard deviation is more, B it is less, and C is it is very less. Now for design calculation, we are not directly taking that mean strength value. We are taking the characteristic strength value. That means FCK. FCK is equal to Fm minus T into S. So in case T is 1.65 and S, suppose in case of cement it is 13. So the characteristic strength is only 41. But whereas in case cement C, since the value of standard deviation is only 3, we are deducting a small quantity from Fm. So that is the reason why FCK came as 58 megapascal. So now after your course, you are going to directly to site or you are doing some research, whatever it may be, these type of ideas you should have. Average strength and test certificate shows 63 megapascal or 60 megapascal. You have to have a study on the standard deviation of that particular sample also. Now modern technology, all the benefits of this modern technology attributes to the contribution of super plasticizers and mineral components. See, basically what are the mineral components? Mineral components means mineral admixtures or SCMS, secondary cementitious material we used to call. There are so many types, fly ash and GGBFS, ground granulated blast furnace slag, silica fume, metakaolin, and rice as cash. It is nothing but rice as cash and alkofine. There are so many mineral admixtures are there, and super plasticizers are also there. Now I will just tell you one more practical example. Suppose when you visit an old very old bus stop or hospital or something like that, you can see the concrete spalling already happened. Concrete is spalled, and in that area you can see the reinforcement corroded. So there are n number of reasons for corrosion of our reinforcement. What I am trying to tell you that if you one of the reason I am telling, if you use ordinary Portland cement, if you are using ordinary Portland cement, so please be with me in this slide. water will react with OPC. So that process, we all know it is called hydration. The products are hydrated calcium silicates that is contributing to strength, and calcium hydroxide or portlandite, which is weak in concrete because of its crystalline structure. This calcium hydroxide, over a period of time, what will happen to this calcium hydroxide, if that will come out, that is called leaching of lime. If leaching of lime is happened from concrete, that means concrete became porous, so moisture will go and that will attack the reinforcement. And once that corrosion happened, means the reinforcement may expand 1 to 6 times. Now if our time is bad, it may expand up to 5 times. Just imagine a reinforcement having 8 mm dia. If it is expanding 5 times, means it become 40. Our concrete, in the beginning I said, our concrete is very strong in taking what? Taking compressive loads. Because of the expansion of this reinforcement, what will happen? Certain stresses are induced in concrete, and that stress is called hoop stress. Our poor concrete is weak in taking that stress, so it falls. That is why that is the reason why that concrete is spalling of concrete happened. So there the villain, what was the villain in that? This calcium hydroxide is leached. So now you just imagine, if you are the same equation, if you are OPC plus water and we are adding mineral admixture like fly ash or slag, what will happen? This mineral admixture, fly ash or slag, it will react with the calcium hydroxide. Again, CSH, hydrated calcium silicate product will come. So this is very, very important, and this reaction is called pozzolanic reaction. So we are eliminating an unwanted material by adding fly ash or slag. So all the research are showing that blended cements, or at site batching plant also we can mix cement plus fly ash, cement plus slag. It is giving a more durable structure. Only worry area will be we might have some initial strength problem. That is the only area of worry, but the other, compared to other advantages, of course, that is more. And I am sure of this, if you study this slide very carefully, you will get a lot of insights from concrete. And it is especially very good for practicing engineers, as well as students, those who are into concrete, those who are studying concrete technology. So according to me, if you should understand this slide very, very, very carefully, then so many insights will come from this. I hope you are getting my points. One more thing is that the capillary pore and time after which capillary pore get blocked. So if your water cement ratio is 0.4, generally for individual houses and all, we are using 50 kilo bag. So 50 kilo bag means one bag, 0.4 means 20 liter. If you are adding 20 liter water, that means the time at which capillary pore get blocked is 3 days. Within 3 days, capillary pores will get blocked. The same scenario, you just think about 0.5. Again, I am comparing with one bag of cement. 0.5 water cement ratio for one bag of cement means one bag 50 kilo, 50 into 0.5, 25. So if you are adding 25 liter of water for one bag of cement, the capillary pore will get blocked only after 14 days. You see, if you are adding 30 liter for one bag of cement, then what, 6 months. Now also one research student, he called me, we had a case, sir. Now this is our see, when we cast the concrete, slab concrete, everything was okay, curing, there was no leakage. But after 2-3 months, now leakage started coming. What could have been the possible reason? So I said, one reason, you might have added more water. And I said, it is in the IS code also. If suppose, if you are adding 30 liter knowingly or unknowingly, free water, I'm using the word free water, there is a meaning for that. Free water cement ratio is 0.6, then it will, the capillary pore get blocked after 6 months only. That means till 6 months, the concrete is porous. And if suppose that pores are being connected, then anytime water can penetrate to that and leakage may happen. Interesting thing, if you are adding more than 0.7, that means more than 35 liter, then the time after which capillary pore get blocked is infinity. Or we can ask them to bring a stamp paper we can write in that stamp paper, your structure is not at all durable. Your service life will be very, very less. Your leakage will never, you will have always leakage problems. You can sign in that bond paper and give to them. That much guarantee I can give. See, this much importance we are giving to water cement ratio. This is what I am saying. This is science. This is engineering. We know this. But if you are not practicing this at site, it may end up with deterioration in quality of concrete, right? Now coming to aggregate part, I'll be little fast. And we know there are two classifications. One is coarse aggregate, that is means the above 4.75 mm sieve, that is coarse aggregate. Below 4.75 mm, it is fine aggregate, right? And as I told, aggregate 70 to 75% of aggregate is in concrete, it is around 70 to 75% aggregate. And you know, after hardening, concrete is having two stages, two parts. One is aggregate, and the other one is cement paste matrix. A cement paste matrix means cement, water, fines in this fine aggregate, everything that will mix and that will form as a cement paste matrix. And our aggregate, coarse aggregate, it is glued in between in that cement paste matrix. That means aggregate is not continuous. Aggregate phase is discrete, and cement paste matrix is continuous. So cement paste matrix is having so many drawbacks. It volume changing, drying shrinkage, heat of hydration, brittleness, cost, everything will come for drawbacks of this cement paste matrix. So by adding 70 to 75, we are getting all these benefits, right? So it is, aggregates are mainly giving volume stability to our concrete. Otherwise drying shrinkage will happen. Now again, a practical thing, which aggregate is desirable in shape and surface texture. So if you see this rounded, irregular and angular, these are actually desirable. And this less desirable means flaky and elongated. These type of aggregates we should not use in concrete. And now if you are advising, after completion of your course, you are advising your brother, suppose your brother is constructing a home at somewhere else in the maybe around Delhi, Mumbai. So you can tell him that you have to use rounded, irregular, angular aggregate. That is what is called science. But from where he will get that? So you should have an idea about the crushers. If we are getting from aggregates from VSI means vertical shaft impactor. VSI crushers, generally the shape will be of cubical shape. So that is good for concrete. If we are getting aggregates from crushers, those who are using jaw crushers means you will get definitely elongated and flaky aggregates. So that also will lead to poor quality of concrete. Now these are the sieve analysis, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, right? Now you just observe this picture. If you are using only 20 mm, there are so many gaps. Now you can see you added some 10 mm also or 12 mm also. So the voids is less. So whenever somebody is asking you, should I use only 20 mm aggregate for my slab concrete? I'm talking about an individual house builder. So you can recommend him, sir, you can add some portion of 10 mm or 12 mm. Why? Particle packing will be high. So to demonstrate that, you can ask him to take a 5-liter bucket, 5-liter bucket. One 5-liter bucket, you add only 20 mm aggregate. Don't compact, just level it and take the weight. Let it be X. Second case, 20 mm and 10 mm, maybe 50-50 ratio, maybe 60-40 ratio. You mix it thoroughly and fill the 5-liter bucket without compaction and level it. Take the weight. Let it be Y. We all know Y will be greater than X. Why? The pores or gaps in this, in case of 20 mm, some gaps will be filled by the 10 mm. It is called particle size distribution. So it is also key. Now your sieve analysis. Whenever you are getting a sieve analysis sheet, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, there are so many things. So the 600 micron is deciding which zone. Why 600 micron? There is no overlap. Most of the students will have a doubt why they have taken 600 micron as the deciding criteria for zone of aggregate. So you see here only 15 to 34, then 35 to 59, then 60 to 79, 80 to 100, like that. There is no overlapping. That is why it is being used. Now, one more practical difficulty. Now in Kerala, around 90% we are using M sand. That is called manufactured sand. But most of the time, we are not using manufactured sand, but we are using quarry dust. Manufactured sand means, manufactured sand is defined as a purpose-made crushed fine aggregate produced from a suitable source. Purpose-made means you take in crushers, generally they take 40 mm, 20 mm, 10 mm and everything, and the rest they used to call it as dust. That dust is not good for our concrete. We have to have manufactured. Manufactured sand means it is purpose-made. If you are adding a stone and crush it, you take only sand, then only it is manufactured. Otherwise, it is only a byproduct. So this is dust, and most of the people, they have a misunderstanding between M sand and crusher dust. Okay, so both maybe we'll get from the same source also, but it differs. And this crusher dust is not at all conforming with IS 383, so we are not supposed to use that. And this is not happening in our case. Generally in river sand, what is happening, silt will be there. So the silt content is maximum 8%. That is theory. So suppose if you are getting an aggregate, so basic fundamental of mixed design is doing design with locally available materials. So suppose if there is some portion of silt in that, you have to do, being an engineer, you have to do a washing. You see here, the washed water is coming along with silt. So that is just a simple practical application. And you can see after washing, all these things are, no, this is undesirable in concrete. So it is being removed, right? Now, use of chemical admixtures. Use of chemical admixtures, we called it as, daughter-in-law. So we told that it is very essential to check the compatibility with cement. If it is not compatible with cement, means the proper results will not get. So the main purpose of adding admixture is to get workability. Main advantage is we'll get good workability. So if you are getting good workability, and with some cases we can reduce the water content also. If you reduce the water content, then what will happen, by Abraham's law, you will get more strength. So this is an illustrative example, and I'm not going into the detail. I'm just touching upon, because again time is short. If you use chemical admixture in without proper quality control, or without controlling the dosage, some problem will come. Some area will not set. You can see this area is not set. Now let us go through quickly correct steps in concrete making, right? So concrete making will start from batching, mixing, transporting, compacting, finishing, and curing, right? Batching, I told you, all materials. We are making a chicken biryani, so the all ingredients, it has to be in correct proportion. That is simply what is called batching. But still, most popular method is just using conventional volumetric method. That is 1:2:4, 1:1.5:3. Now we are not supposed to use M15 concrete for RCC work. Minimum is M20. But actual way is to do it in a mixed design. Application of mixed design is the best way. So, but if you have a mixed design, then from site, the problem is that we are not having weight balance. How we can take the weight? That is one concern. Now, if you have boxes, this is also a designed box. If you have boxes, you can convert any mixed design which is in weight to volume, so that they can implement at site very easily. Okay, controlled batching is very important. So nowadays, batching plants, they have all the control measures available. I'm quickly going to then mixing. Now this is an interesting slide. Can you identify some problems in this mix? There are n number of problems. Now you see this is segregated, coarse aggregate came back. And when I asked this question, when I was taking a session for students, then they said, the labor, this uncle, he is not having safety shoe. That is was one issue. It's also right. And you just see the mixer machine. I think my grandfather and this mixer machine are having same age. And they produce the worst concrete, and to show they are putting a slum cone here, nothing else. That means, oh, I know, so we have to take slum. That is there in the textbook. So these things will not work. And there are so many points to be addressed while doing mixing. And the drum capacity minimum 30% should be empty. Nowadays, we are, as I said in the beginning, we have a conventional method and we have some state of art. This is the state of art. That means the mixing. We have very good machineries available. Transporting, earlier we used to have this manual. Now it is slowly changed. Now we don't have such chains. We have hoist placed, and in Kerala, most of the places this is not there. This is actually obsolete, and they are using hoist for transporting. In modern time, we can transport concrete up to 12 meter cube in one go. This transit mixer, this can take 12 meter cube. So methods are available. You see, and here one interesting photo. This is front loading. This is back loading, and this is front loading transit mixer. That also is available. Okay, then placing. Placing is also important. We are not supposed to place it above a height of 1.5 meter. That is a maximum height. Otherwise, segregation will happen. So we have to be very careful in placing of concrete. If you don't place concrete properly, then sometimes you can make a see-through concrete. That means if you look at the concrete, you can see the other side, which is actually not a design thing, for a byproduct of improper placing. So there are so many available, and now boom places, it can go to depth, so we can place it very easily. Truck mounted placer boom, you can see placer boom is here where they are doing the concreting, and here one big pour is happening. So all with placer booms. This is state of art. So that technology level is available. Okay. And now 62-meter boom. See, you see a boom which can, now 62-meter away it can concrete. Where the operator is standing. Operator is standing here. Standing at here, he is operating the entire thing. You see, this is the state of art in placing. These are the developments coming, right? Developments coming means development already happened. So conventional method and new methods also came. Now compaction. Compaction, we all know, compaction is to remove the entrapped air. We have to do proper compaction, then the entrapped air will get removed. This is incorrect. The left side photo is incorrect. You see this gentleman, he is holding this on reinforcement bar in the beam. So what will happen? The beam will vibrate, and maybe the other end of the beam concrete might have already happened. So that will make a big void. So we have to be careful. And while using this type of vibrator also is a session of around 45 minutes. This vibrator, it has to be applied vertically, not horizontally. Most of the cases, what they are doing, they are just placing it like a, what we do like fishing net. They are just throw that and they'll pull it back. That is wrong, and your machine will get damaged. And in the left hand side, if you have a void former here, some obstruction here, you are filling concrete in this side, never, you are not supposed to apply both sides simultaneously. Vibration, if you vibrate both sides simultaneously, then this portion will have void. So the correct method is apply it in one side and let the concrete is visible through the other side. Then only you start pouring here, so that this void gap can be eliminated. This is one example of that. Finishing, no need to discuss, just to get the level and all. And for finishing also, there are many methods available. Now my interesting thing is curing. There are several misconceptions about curing. If I ask this question, why we are doing curing, even some engineers replied me that concrete will take some water. Concrete will take some water, and it is good for hydration. Actually, concrete is not supposed to take water. The purpose of curing is to avoid, simply saying, to avoid the evaporation loss of water from concrete. Simply to avoid the evaporation loss of water from the concrete, because we added sufficient quantity of water. We just for an example, for one bag of cement, we added 25 liter. If the water cement ratio is 0.5, we added 25 liter. For cement to get for hydration of cement, we need 0.23 to 0.3 water cement ratio. That means out of that 25 liter, only maybe 12.5 to 15 liter is used for hydration of cement. The rest is for workability. So we have enough water inside our concrete. Then concrete should not take additional water. So the purpose of curing is to avoid evaporation loss. And you can see from this picture, some were meant to crack. An egg, it is supposed to crack. Otherwise, how can the baby will come out? How we can make omelette, right? But some were not. Our concrete, it is not supposed to crack if made properly. We are making concrete not to crack. So that is the important. And it's actually a curing. It's a protection. Now. See, it is just like applying a fairness cream. It will avoid moisture loss. This is why we are doing watering. So curing. So most of the time, one more question. If that is the case, whether we require water or water is a must for curing or not? The answer is water is not at all a must for curing. If you cover if you cover your sheets, if you cover the concrete with some plastic sheet, then that is enough. That is enough for curing. No additional water is required. And if this evaporation happens from the concrete, then what is the problem? The problem is plastic shrinkage cracking. And you can see the picture. It is a photograph of a paddy field. It's a photograph of a paddy field. You can see these cracks. Why this crack happened? Because earlier there was water, and because of hot sun, that water evaporated, and that evaporated area came as cracks, right? Similar way, plastic shrinkage cracks in concrete. The main reason I am saying plastic shrinkage crack, the main reason is water evaporated, and because of that, these cracks happen. And in IS code, in very detail, it is mentioned. There are three main villain for this plastic shrinkage crack, which is the most problematic in our Kerala, especially, and other parts of India also, where the temperature is a little bit high in hot summer. So the environment condition, the main villains are temperature. Temperature means high ambient temperature, low humidity, high wind velocity. These are the three environmental conditions which is favoring evaporation. And as per codes, if your evaporation rate is 1 kg per meter cube per hour, if it is more than 1 kg per meter cube per hour, we have to take all the precautions in doing concrete. Otherwise, the cracks may happen, right? And concrete is just like a fresh baby. So when to start curing? That is also a very interesting question. So when you see in this photo, they are doing concreting and they covered that with a plastic sheet immediately once after the initial setting. Okay, it is just like a newborn baby. If a newborn baby, what we will do? We will cover the newborn baby. We will not leave the cover baby aside for 24 hours or a day. Immediately we have to. Concrete is just like a baby. So fresh concrete. So we have to cure it very immediately. If we are not following such things, then you see this picture. This is not the innovation which we engineers want. What they have done, maybe some leakage issue or something like that, they made it like a petrol pump. They covered the entire thing with sheet. Solve your problem. Add one more roof if the first one leaks. This is not the way of which we want. Now, madam, now it is 11:15. How much time can I take?
Sir, it's okay, sir. You can complete it, sir.
Can I take 5 more minutes?
Okay, sir. It's okay.
I think our viewers are not getting bored, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, see, I am taking very quickly. I know generally this is not my pace, and because of some unfortunate, technical problem happened and all. Now, very quickly, I'll take you through some future trends in concrete or some advancements in concrete. There are special concrete, self-compacting concrete, fiber reinforced concrete, cellular concrete, transparent concrete, hematite concrete, bacterial concrete. Now, even smoke eating concrete or self cleaning concrete, so on and so forth. These are special concretes are coming. My request to all the students that I'll not say you like concrete, you love concrete, and do some good researches which can solve some of the issues. So the purpose of these concretes, some reason was there behind the invention of behind producing such concretes, right? Now, self compact compacting concrete, as the name suggests, there is no compaction required. We know why we are doing compaction, to remove the entrapped air. Generally, in our village areas, suppose we are constructing our individual house, the slab concrete is just like a marriage function. There are so many people over that slab and in the house, and biryani and evening so and so something else like that. No, but self-compacting concrete, no one is required. Concrete itself is will flow, and that flow, it will flow like honey. I'm not saying it will flow like water. It will flow like honey. There will be a certain thickness for that. And the main application is retaining wall, thick section, congestion reinforcement, etc. And there is a special mixed design, and we are not supposed to use ordinary aggregates. The size of the aggregates are also limited. Water cement ratio maximum is 0.35, and we have to use chemical admixtures that is PCE based. Normally our chemical admixtures which is available in the market normally are two types. One is SNF, sulfonated naphthalene formaldehyde, and the other one is PCE, polycarboxylic ether. These polycarboxylic ether admixtures are very highly water reducing, so that we can control the water cement ratio as this 0.35 maximum, right? And aggregate 12.5 lesser, below 12.5 size aggregates are used. Now you see, this is a design. How we will vibrate this, you see. So only option is self-compacting concrete. And as always, we used to say necessity is the mother of invention, right? So like this application, no, how the thought in Japan, self-compacting concrete is being developed. And you can see an interesting picture. This is not actually marble. This is a concrete with self-compacting concrete. You see the finishing. I'll just show you a video. You see, this is self-compacting concrete, how cohesive mix, and it is flowing. No one is doing any compaction, right? Any vibration, it is flowing. You just see. And also you see the thickness here. If water is flowing, means there will not be thickness at the end. But if honey is flowing, that means there will be some certain thickness in the edge. So the rheology deals with the flow characteristics of concrete. Rheology, that's a vast topic. How to adjust the flow of concrete, that is called rheology. The rheological characteristics of honey is same as that of the rheological characteristics of our what you call self-compacting concrete. Now the other one, fiber reinforced concrete. In the beginning, we said concrete is very strong in compression, and it is very weak in taking tensile loads. That is the reason why we are adding reinforcement to concrete, and thus we call concrete as RCC, reinforced cement concrete. And we also discussed that the approximate value of tensile strength is 10% that of compressive strength. In order to increase that compressive strength, we can add some fibers. You can see in the picture, steel fibers, nylon fibers are added to concrete in order to increase that tensile value. And the application is some industrial pavement, door, floor, bunkers, and some specially protected area. Even they used to construct compound walls with the fiber reinforced concrete. I'll show a video. In this video, explosive loaded truck is coming, and don't worry, it is there is no driver. It is automatically operated, and they have constructed a wall with fiber reinforced concrete, and they are just trying, if any attack happens, terrorist attack happens, how the wall will behave. So this is a truck loaded with explosive, and they are doing a trial. Just see. You see, for what happened to the wall? Just bended, and it is in the same shape. But if it is of pure concrete, what will happen? It will collapse. It will destroy. Again, let me show you that once again. You see, so this is fiber reinforced concrete. Okay. Now cellular concrete. We all know the theoretical density of concrete is around 2,400, 2,500 kg per meter cube. But if we the cellular concrete, the density is only 1/3. A hole is kept inside the concrete, and it is used in earthquake resistant structure, retaining wall, masonry. You see, one person is easily it can lift. This is all our lightweight. Cellular usage of cellular concrete, masonry block, concrete panel, pavement, earthquake resistant construction, etc. Transparent concrete, concrete which transmits light. Some optical fibers are added. It is transmitting light. Okay. And this is just a joke, no privacy. Suppose I am staying now in the 5th floor of my building. So if my concrete is transparent, how can I sit inside my room with my I will lose all my happiness. So no privacy. It's just a joke. You can see it's actually a decorative work. Some office buildings and all. These are our crazy thoughts which people had, and they made it. So we all should. That's why I told you, you love concrete, then do some experiments, find out something. So this is all about transparent concrete. Then hematite concrete is just reverse of cellular concrete. Cellular concrete, the density is only 1/3 of the density. Now in cellular concrete, what we are doing is we are increasing the density of concrete to say around 3,000 or 3,200 kg per cubic meter. The one main application is used in radiation cancer treatment room, cobalt room. So the radiations are highly dangerous. So that wall, they mainly construct that wall with hematite concrete. And what they are doing is, in order to increase the density, they are putting some iron ores, iron ore in that concrete. Now rainy season is going to come. Now the bacteria, virus, and it is destroying the world right now. COVID-19, we cannot I think in our day-to-day life nowadays, 90% we are hearing COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. Now with bacteria, with the help of bacteria, some Dr. Ramakrishnan he made a concrete that is, it's a self-healing concrete. So that is patented. We don't know the technology, but by using that bacteria, what is happening? Filling of pores. So that type of concrete is also happening. And now I told one more concrete, that is smoke eating concrete, or we can call it as self cleaning concrete. Some titanium dioxide is added, and they are using white cement for concreting. Then what will happen? The structure will be white all the time. Can you imagine a structure to be white all the time? No, because carbon dioxide, carbonation, everything is all deterioration is happening to, all weathering applications are happening to our concrete. But they made like that. They're adding titanium dioxide into that. And as I told, so many researchers are coming, bacterial concrete, smoke eating concrete, so on and so forth. So many concretes are also coming. So this is the beauty. Now with this, I am ending my presentation. I know I took 20 minutes extra, but that is because of some, and I am a little bit hurry also, in the sense, because time only. I don't have any problem in discussing 3 hours or 4 hours with you. And if time permits, we can have some more discussions also. And I'll just introduce our new initiative, that is DH Academy. It is actually a skill development program, and we are offering 3 types of programs. One is ASTP, Advanced Skill Development Program. The basic concept is molding civil engineers, and internship support. Like you, I believe that your internship now, you all are good students. That I know. So you are utilizing that very cleverly. But some students, they are just going here and there just to have some points or something like that. No, please use it effectively. How we can make that? If we have interest, then we will do that. That is the psychology behind that. Then we used to have some training programs, seminars for corporates, and we have done so many corporate training programs also. So this is all about DH Academy, and you can visit our academy www.dhacademy.com. So once again, thank you. Thanks for your patient listening. I think if time permits, we can have some question and answer. Yeah, over to you. Hello, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
We have some questions, sir, for you.
yeah.
What is the use of BFRP sheet? How existing beam take more strength? From Selvapriya.
No, I'm not.
Using of BFRP sheet
Ah,
so that the existing beams takes more strength.
that is actually she is asking about some retrofitting.
Selvapriya, can you please unmute and ask? Are you there?
If it is retrofitting, there are so many procedures. Okay, carbon
Hello.
wrap. For example, now it happened one time in that a column already they cast the column. Hello, some disturbance is there, I think.
Sir, it's retrofitting material, sir.
Yeah, yeah, that's why I got idea. Okay, so there are so many retrofitting methods and so many advancement is happening. And if you are adopting right method, then definitely it will work. In one case, I have also, I am not a direct part, but I have some idea about that. One column also, the strength of the column not required strength not happened within 28 days, and they casted a floor above that also. Then ultimately some procedure called carbon wrapping. I think it is helping because we cannot demolish totally that column. So you are answering to your question. It will help. It will increase. Next one.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question. What is the relationship between workability and strength? If water cement ratio is more, then workability is more. Then what about strength?
Very, very good question. As per Abraham's law, if water cement ratio is more, then strength is less, right? If water cement ratio increases, workability increases. That is the thing. So we are not supposed to increase the water cement. We are not supposed to add more water. That is the reason why we are limiting water. Now we saw capillary pore, closing of capillary pore, the relation between water cement ratio and the days after which capillary pores gets blocked. We have that, with us. The chart is with us. So if you want to have more workability, we have to use super plasticizers to get workability. Otherwise, if you increase water cement ratio, strength will reduce. It is Abraham's law. And also I have given some idea. The actually, the figures may not be that much clear, correct. But what I am saying is, see, for cement particles to have hydration, the water cement ratio required is 0.23 to 0.3 only. Okay, so if you are adding 0.5 water cement ratio, 0.3 is required for your cement hydration, and rest is for workability. So that rest quantity, workability part, if you reduce that water content by adding without disturbing workability, how you can do that? You can add super plasticizers. Then the strength also will increase. It's a very good question.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Sunny Kumar. Can we use the fiber concrete in roofing design layer?
We can use, but selection, actually purpose, availability, that all matters in practical point of view. So if you want, see, if what is the purpose, I don't know why you want to use that for this one, because the RCC reinforcement bars are easily available, and if you use fiber, then it will be a little bit costly also. And the problem with fiber is that the adding procedure, the uniform dispersion is very important. So I think better to go for convention thing, because I never mentioned the fiber reinforcement concrete to use for slab. You see special pavements, some bunkers, there are some special uses. which we will not be able to get from ordinary things. That is the reason. Next. Hello.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Next is where are you using LDP sheet in concrete work?
LDPE sheet. See, I think the question is related to curing. If I told you curing water is not a must, because I was a part of LNG project in Kochi. You know, if something happened to LNG work, means the entire Cochin will not be there. We never used a single drop of water for curing. There we applied a technology that is called curing compound. There we applied a technology that is curing compound. So whenever we are lifting that tank formwork, immediately after that, some 10 or 15 labors, what they will do, they will brush the entire thing with curing compound. And for a slab, the curing compound is very costly affair. For a slab, after your concrete, if you cover that with a plastic sheet, means what will happen? I told you there are mainly three villains for this evaporation loss. One is high ambient temperature. Second one is high wind velocity. Third one is low humidity. So the wind will not touch your concrete. It will touch the what you call it will blow over the sheet, and you know the layer between concrete and sheet, that particular area humidity will be high, because some initial evaporation will happen, and that since that water is there in between that layer, high humidity is there, so further evaporation gets blocked. Yes.
Okay, sir. Next question. Can we pour concrete in 1.85 meter height?
You can pour concrete up. See, in fact, suppose you have, it's also a good practical question. You want to do a 10-meter height column. Forget about 1.8. 10-meter height column, and you want to cast it in one go. So, and I told the maximum height of drop is 1.5 meters. So what we'll do? That is actually wisdom. That is actually wisdom. The technology, how we can use our brain. So what generally people used to do at you just imagine a column 10-meter height. So at every 1.5 meter, they will make a small opening in that column shuttering. They will pour concrete through that. Then when it reaches 1.5, they will close that door and open the next one, which is at 3-meter height. So always the height of wall will be less than 1.5. That is one thing. Second thing, if you want to pour from top, you have to have a good pipe. As I shown in one of the figure, there are boom placers available. With the use of boom, it is placing the concrete. So these boom placers also, with pipes also, it can go to the bottom, and layer by layer we can do. It is possible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question. Can cement be replaced by any other material to be used in engineering field?
As on date, no. There is no, we can replace, but we can replace to higher percentages also. Blended cement is also a similar thought, but blended cement in India, if you take the case of fly ash, the maximum fly ash content allowed is 35%. But whereas in other countries, European countries and all, there is no that much prescribed limit. They give importance for performance. That means my concrete has to be there for 120 years. Again, coming back to the example of LNG work in Cochin, there grade of concrete was M40. Total cementitious content. Total cementitious content means cement OPC plus this mineral admixture. Total cementitious content was 470 kg per meter cube. Out of that 470, 70% was slag, just like fly ash. Only 30% was OPC. Because why? Slag have certain very little hydration activity only, and this OPC will react, and from there calcium hydroxide will come. Then that is act as an activator for the secondary cementitious material to do pozzolanic action. That is the thing. And as on date, research are happening, but no such a product as per my knowledge.
Okay, the next question, sir. If we use self-compacting concrete, up to what height we can cast?
Up to what height? Any height, because layer by layer only we are doing. See, the main factor is that that depends upon the dimension. When I was in the Republic of Yemen, what we did, it was a huge pour. We did it in layers, because maybe the first layer may be having a certain height like that, and we use some 4 or 5 pumps, and layer by layer we are doing that. So height is not at all a factor.
Okay, sir. The next question from engineer Sridhar. Please, can you explain water cement ratio in capillary? As you mentioned as 0.4 for 3 days, 0.5 for 14 days, 0.6 for 6 months, etc. So can you explain?
Who asked this question?
Sir, engineer Sriraj.
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 Very interesting question. Very good question. That's why I asked who asked this question. Because for that, we should understand the micro structure of concrete. If you suppose for our academic purpose or for our ordinary level, if you are asking how we can make good concrete, answer is very simple: good material, good construction practices. That will decide the quality. And if you are thinking a level above, suppose if you ask me, then I will say what should not be there in concrete is deciding the quality of concrete, nothing else. That is pores. So we have to understand there are 4 types of main pores, and that is the more dangerous one and having more size is what you call entrapped air pore. Next to that, entrained air pore. Next to that, capillary pore. Next to that, gel pore. So basically, there are 4 types of pores in concrete: entrapped air, entrained air, capillary pore, and gel pore. Entrapped air, I am not worried at all, because if I do proper vibration, that entrapped air will go. Entrained air pore also I am least worried, because entrained air, the meaning of entrainment is I am purposefully adding air to concrete. That is the case of cold countries. Maybe in order to get workability, calculated amount of air is added to concrete through some chemical admixture. So I am not worried about that. Then the rest 2 is gel pore and capillary pore. Gel pore also I am least worried, because it is very less in size. Also, to remove gel pore, we have to heat the concrete by around 800 degrees Celsius, which is not practically possible. So I am not worried about that also. Now the only concern is capillary pore. So first of all, first and foremost thing, it is very important to understand what is capillary pore. I can see that around 160 engineers are attending this. So how many of you can physically imagine in your mind a capillary pore in concrete? So we have to, that is why I told we have to understand the microstructure of concrete. I'll just give you, without slide, it is a bit difficult for me to explain, but still, in concrete, initial stage, we added water, and this water is there inside. Initial stage only I am saying, and cement particles are there near to that, aggregates are there, everything is there. And slowly, cement start reacting with the water. That is hydration process will start. So the amount of water is getting reduced because hydration is happening. And hydration, that means the CSH, hydrated calcium silicate gel, that is filling into the area where already water was there. So if you are having more water cement ratio, means that filling may not match, because your capillary pore means that capillary area means that water was there earlier, then some amount of water is taken by concrete to do hydration. Hydrated products are filling that gap. Okay, now what will happen if you have more water, means your capillary pore will be there. It will not, that is the funda. This hydrated calcium silicate gel may not be possible to fill the entire gap, and but slowly it will be. If water cement ratio is less water, less capillary pore. That is the reason why it is getting blocked within 3 days. I think I answered.
Okay, sir.
Even though there are advancement in types of cement, is there any way to reduce 28-day
Concrete strength to shorter duration.
Question is not clear. To reduce
28-day strength to shorter duration? Why can't we make it 28 to a shorter distance with the advancements of cement, types of cement?
No, we will get, see, what I am telling is, one thing is you are aiming something. So when a structural consultant is designing and giving me that this structure, we want M40 grade of concrete. So my aim is M40. For that, I am designing a concrete that is through a process, and I have to optimize the cement. I have to optimize everything, because that also is very important. And with the design, what the expected strength after 28 days is what, it is maybe around 99%. By using cement which is having more characteristic strength, you will definitely get maybe around 14 days, 15 days, 16 days, you will get 100% results, which is happening also. That is there. You definitely will get. If you check the cement cubes, your required results maybe very much before 28 days you will get. It will happen. Because in cement, characteristic strength of cement is important. Characteristic strength, I have shown one example, if you remember. 3 cement, all are having FM, that is average of month or something. It is 63, 63, 63. But the standard deviation factor, in one cement it was less. So that cement's FCK is very high. So that cement will give you a better results.
Okay, thank you, sir. Which material is best for environment, concrete structure or steel structure?
See, environmentally, all are having plus and minus. I personally, I love concrete to view as a sustainable material. Sustainable material, again, I told there should be an equilibrium between 3 parameters: cost, that means economy, environmental, and social. Environmentally speaking, if the carbon dioxide, if you take the case of carbon dioxide emission, cement industry is contributing one of the highly. That means if you are producing 1 ton of OPC, you are the carbon dioxide emission is near about 1 metric ton. It is not just as carbon dioxide, it is the total embodied thing. I am saying it is carbon dioxide equivalent, we can say. I said it's not like that 1 ton means 1 ton will go up. No, it is a total thing. But we all are doing research in concrete. No, slowly that is the reason why we are replacing that with some certain percentage of mineral admixtures. In Cochin, I have given example. 470 kg total cementitious content, 70% was slag. Slag is a waste product, byproduct. So that means by producing that concrete, we reduce that carbon footprint to 1 ton 2.3, because 70% is other material. Yes, so that is the thing. So environmental friendly, I prefer to call concrete as environmental friendly.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, for 1 bag cement, how much of water is required for mixing?
1 bag cement, how much? That depends upon so many parameters. I can say a maximum limit of 0.55. That means 27 point. You are not supposed to add more than that. And don't say that to your mason or supervisor. You say 0.5. That means for 1 bag, 25 liter. You keep it in your mind. That is the safer side. If you are not getting workability with the 25 kilo, especially in hot climate, then prefer to use a plasticizer. Yes, and if you are doing concreting in rainy season, then that amount of water added may be around only 15 liter. Why? Your aggregates, your fine aggregates also is moist, which will contribute to free water cement ratio. That is called moisture correction. That also has to be applied. So there is no ideal water cement ratio. We know the maximum limit, and that is as per our requirement, the workability requirement, what you want. That depends upon purely the workability requirements.
So next question is, why are we taking the compressive strength of concrete after 7 days?
After 7 days.
7 days.
No, 28 days answer I have already given, right? So it is around 99%.
Yes.
So when, see, 77, we have to have a regular checkup of that. And generally 7 days, the specialty is that, you know, the generally strength gain versus if you are drawing a graph, and y-axis if you draw strength gain, and x-axis the number of days, 1 to 7, that means the curve is the slope is generally high, 1 to 7, and after 7 days the curve is the slope will reduce till 28. After 28 days there will not be a much slope, it is flat, it is good. That means there will not be any considerable increase in strength. 7 day means more or less, as a thumb rule, we can say concrete will achieve 67 66%, 67%. I prefer to say 70%. That means almost 2/3 of strength is achieved in 7 days. Just to check that, just to check the growth part, how it is moving.
Okay, sir. And the last question is, how much percentage that GGBS can be allowed as replacement material for cement?
I think Sajid also is here. If I am not wrong, I think it is 55% as per Indian standards. I am not sure. I have to check. It is there in the books. But the main point is that in other countries, as I told you, they have not taken any limit. It is performance oriented. There are two concepts. One is prescription oriented, other one is performance oriented. Prescription oriented, we will have some guidelines. This is maximum, this is minimum. You are not allowed to cross this or not. Performance, this thing, you are allowed to do everything provided the conditions will be there. These are the performance factors. We have to match all these performance factors, then we can accept. And again, I think this is the third time I'm repeating. In Cochin, we used 70% slag, which bypassed IS code, because the client was Petronet LNG and the main contractor was IHI Corporation Japan. So for Japanese, for that should be there for 120 years. It is there in their agreement. So they have taken permission and they used up to 70%, which is a record in India. 470 total cementitious content, only 30% pure OPC, rest 70% is ground granulated blast furnace slag, GGBFS or slag. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Now some more questions are coming. Shall I
okay.
proceed, sir? Okay, then.
Okay.
What is a...
What is Sajid? What's your opinion? I can see.
Yeah, I think we can take 1 or 2 questions more maximum.
Maximum 2, yeah.
Okay, sir. The next question is, what is the best temperature of concrete in pouring time?
Best temperature of also that depends. Ideally, if temperature is less, that is good. Okay. And in most of the time, what is happening, if the temperature of concrete at the time of placing, if it is more than 40 degree, that is important. If it temperature of concrete at the time of placing, if it is more than 40 degree, then that type of concreting is called as hot weather concreting, and we have to take all precautions. If your temperature is less, maybe a 20, 18, whatever it may be, that is good for concrete, because the concrete, if the concrete temperature is less, then generally the entire durability factor will be good. I am saying the maximum limits, right? Yeah.
Okay, sir. Next question. Adding RHA while mixing concrete, what all changes will happen?
RHA means rice as cash, right?
Yes, sir.
Rice as cash is nothing but namada umikari. Okay. The 2-3 points is that, one, if you are burning say around 1 ton husk, means you will get ash as very little quantity. That is one drawback. Another thing, another advantage point, it will increase the durability, same as that case of slag and fly ash. But availability is a bit issue. I have shown one figure, the pozzolanic reaction. The same pozzolanic reaction will happen in case of rice as cash also.
Okay, thank you, sir, for having such a session. Almost all questions have been complete now. Now I'll request Engineer Sajid, sir, to speak a few words.
Yeah, good morning once again. It was a really wonderful session, and it's a very wonderful initiative by Vedavyasa Institute of Engineering College to have 1 week complete a workshop regarding structural and concrete structures. And last 2 days we had a structural steel regarding steel, and today we had about concrete. And I think no better person than Engineer Shaiju, who's the CEO of DH Academy and former regional head of Ambuja Cements, can take concrete in better way. I thank Engineer Shaiju for such a wonderful, informative session, and he has answered almost all the questions. I think a lot of questions are again coming, so you can ask the questions, be interactive. Okay, and we are having 4 more sessions in this workshop. So I wish all the best to all the participants and for the rest of the program also. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Sriya, the Secretary of ICI Students Chapter, Vedavyasa Institute of Technology, to express the vote of thanks. Sriya.
Thank you so much, Shaiju sir. That was a much informative session on concrete, and it was so interesting to listen your class. Thank you so much for joining along with this and taking an informative session on our online workshop organized by ICI VVIT chapter. And also, I would like to thank at this moment Sajid Bhaskar sir, who is the Secretary of ICI Calicut Center. He was being throughout in this session. Thank you so much, Sajid sir. Next, I would like to thank our beloved constant supports, Kala ma'am, Sanketa ma'am, Arun sir, our HOD Divya ma'am, and all teachers for such an initiative. Last but not least, I would like to thank all participants who actively participated in this session. Hope the session was informative for all. Thank you, and thank you so much.
I just want to add one thing. From my side also, a big thanks to all ICI and Vedavyasa College. But I'm really amazed to see the response. Now only I opened the inbox. So many messages, so many questions are coming. That shows the real interest. And you people are very lucky. You have a good college, good teachers, and good association with ICI. Because still 4 more lectures are coming, sessions are coming. So make use of all. Wish you all the success. As Engineer Sajid Bhaskar mentioned, if you have any doubts, you can send a WhatsApp to me, or you can send a WhatsApp to Madam and she will forward to me. We will try to answer. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Shaiju sir, for your kind session. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, bye.
So hope we'll end it. And thank you all the participants. We'll meet tomorrow for the next session. Okay, thank you all.